Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. My name is Melissa, and I'm here to lead you through mindful stretch. We will practice for 15 minutes today. So, as we go through class, just a reminder to listen to your body. If any of the stretches that we're working with do not work for you, please skip them, come on out and modify. As we go through our class today, you'll want to have a mat to practice on. And also, I took out additional props. I brought out the blocks and the blanket. So they are not a necessity for the practice, but if you'd like to use them, you can definitely have those close by to help you. So as we go through our practice today, I was thinking about doing a class focusing a little bit on our quads today. If you feel that you've been sitting a lot through the workday, this will be really great. When we sit, our quads tend to shorten, our hip flexors and psoas shorten as well. So this practice will be really nice for giving a good stretch, increasing some flexibility, and then just bringing in that balance into the body and also into the mind. So why don't we get started in child's pose? Also, another thing I'll mention as we do our quad practice, there'll be some stretches where we're reaching back for our foot. And if you know that that feels a little bit challenging for you, you can always have the exercise strap or the yoga strap. That can be a nice option. You could also use a necktie or a tie that goes around a robe or even a towel. So just something that you could kind of link around the foot to draw in. So that's always an option. Of course, if you don't have those, that's fine. You would just bend your knee and encourage your foot in. So why don't we come down to a little resting pose to begin. So child's position, either your knees are together and you're folding over the legs. That will give you a bit of a back opening. You could also take your big toes to touch, knees will be apart, and then you can drop down. And that's just going to give you a little bit more of a hip and leg stretch. And then why don't we just take a few breaths in and out here just to let yourself land and let yourself settle on the mat. As you're settling here into the stretch, maybe bring awareness to your physical body. Notice where you might be holding on to tension. And then try to let that tension go as you exhale. And just seeing with that exhale, if you can drop in a little bit more, a little deeper to the stretch. And then if you feel called to, feel free to set an intention for the class. And that could be anything. It might be that you want to take this next 15 minutes to relax. Or if you are holding tension in your body, maybe intention is to release that a little bit. So as we come on up, let's make our way into a tabletop position. So we'll have our knees in line with our hips. We'll take our wrists in line with our shoulders. The right foot will take a step up in between the hands. We'll just take a nice big step through. And if you need to use your hand to guide that foot forward, you can definitely do that. We are going to take a moment to bend and then straighten your front leg. Now, as you bend into your right knee, let's just make sure that our knee and our ankle are in the same line. So we just don't want our knee to come too far forward here. We'll just have that nice alignment of knee and ankle in line, or the knee can be behind the ankle if you'd like. And this will just be a really nice opportunity to get a nice leg and hip stretch. Good for the low back. So nice movement to warm up our quad and get into the hip flexors and get into the psoas. Now let's take a moment to straighten our right leg. We're just going to fold over the front of the leg for a moment. This will bring you into a really nice calf stretch and a nice hamstring stretch. Let's take a bend in our right knee. Right hand to the sky. Let's find a twist. We'll just hold this stretch. So as you breathe in, try to feel your spine lengthening. And then as you exhale, allow for your twist to deepen. Lowering that right hand down. Let's come to a tabletop position. So we'll bring our right knee to meet our left and bring a little space in between the knees. Lower your stomach down. Let's lift up through the heart. We'll find a back bend here. Pressing the ground away with the hands and the knees. Let's bring our chin to our chest and do a rounding here of our back body. Lower the stomach, lift up through the heart, round through the back body, chin to chest. And then a little flow through the cat dog stretch, also sometimes called cat cow. So just a nice movement of the spine, finding space between the vertebrae, finding movement with each breath here. Back to our neutral spine. Left foot will float up in between the hands. So we'll take that nice big step through. And begin to bend and straighten the front leg. And then again here, we're just going to be mindful of our left knee. We don't want it to extend too far forward. And what we'll do here is we're just taking time to warm up the body. And then we can drop into some of those deeper quad stretches. We'll just warm up our legs a bit, warm up the hips a bit. So the body will be nice and ready for those deeper quad stretches. Left leg will straighten. Fold over the left leg for a moment. Just seeing if you can let your head hang heavy like a weight here. So head relaxes, neck relaxes. Left knee will bend. Left hand lifts up. Let's find our twists. And then as you twist here, we're just going to hold this, breathing in and out. Left shoulder gently rolls back. Right shoulder gently draws under slightly. Back to center. Let's take that left hand down. We're going to take our left knee to meet our right knee in tabletop. Coming into a knee down plank position. Reverse push-up all the way down to the mat. So I would love to work and hold with that quad stretch. So what we can do is with our left hand, we can press ourselves up, maybe into a half Sphinx pose. And if the shoulder's a little sensitive, you can always hang out down here, maybe make a pillow with the arm. Take our right hand for our right foot. And if it's very challenging to grab onto the foot, like I shared at the beginning of the practice, you can definitely use some props. So if you had the exercise strap, that would be great. You just loop it right around the top of the foot and then pull in. And if you don't have exercise strap, you can get creative. You could think about maybe a towel or the necktie. That could be a great use of a prop there. And we're just going to breathe. So nice opportunity to just stretch that quad like I shared before. When we sit, that muscle shortens. And we find ourselves sitting so much in the day, right? We're sitting when we're working, and when we eat, when we drive, when we watch TV. So it's always really, really important to get those quad stretches in just to try to bring a bit more balance into the lower body. We are going to release that foot. We'll change it up, try on the second side. And then as you try this side, maybe notice if the stretch feels easier, may feel more challenging. It's always so interesting especially when we work with the hips and we work with the legs, they're definitely not always symmetrical one side to the next. So just finding that awareness, strengthening and creating the mind-body connection. And then we can release. We're gonna float the foot down. Let's take an inhale, and then on the exhale, let's bring it into table. Back onto the hands and the knees. Take a breath here, and then on exhale, down dog. Toes curl under. Let's bring our hips up. Now it might feel nice in down dog to pedal out the feet. Or maybe take a bend in one knee and then bend the other knee. Maybe shake the head yes and shake the head no. And then maybe getting this grounded feeling in the hands. Try to press the weight back to your heels. Also let the spine be long. Let your head relax. Let your neck relax. Let's bring it into a fold. So toes will move towards our hands at the top of your space. And then as you take a fold, let's bend the knees here as well. So maybe a deep bend in one knee and in the other. So good for legs. Also really nice gentle warm up for the low back too. Let's find our way to stillness here. We're going to walk our hands to the right, find a side stretch, and then ground evenly through the inside and the outside of each foot. Come back to center, hands to the other side. Reach and stretch through the waist. Lengthen through the side body, arm and fingertips. We'll bring ourselves back through the center. Hands are going to relax down, core engages, and let's come on up to stand. So we'll just root down through our feet. Let's take a shoulder roll. Bring your shoulders up, back, and down. So let's try a standing quad stretch. We're going to work a little bit with our balance. So if you know that the balance isn't super stable, feel free to grab onto a wall or if there's a surface close by. So we'll take our right hand for our right foot. And if you grab on the outside of the foot, that tends to be a gentler stretch on the shoulder. But if you would like a little bit more of a shoulder stretch, you can try for the inside of the foot. And we're just going to hold this one. So let's find a spot to focus on. We call that a drishti in yoga. So just a little spot, maybe on the ground, maybe the wall, the ceiling. A spot to focus concentration and to focus awareness. And we'll release. Let's take that right foot down and then left hand for left foot. Let's give that a try on the other side. Again, just that reminder, grab on the outside of the foot for an easier shoulder stretch and then inside of the foot for a deeper shoulder stretch. And if you wanted, it's a very small micro movement and adjustment, but what you could do is almost create a little sensation of kicking the foot into the hand, not necessarily going back very far. And what that will do, will just lengthen these muscles a little more. You're gonna feel your knee come down a bit. So let's come on out of that. And I'd love to build on this. We'll try a dancer stretch. So we'll take our right hand for the right foot, grab on the outside or the inside. Now we'll take our left hand out in front, maybe take the pads of the index finger and the thumb together. And we'll begin to come forward. We're gonna kick our foot into the hand. And this stretch is really nice because it's very good for strengthening your standing leg. We'll strengthen all of the muscles through the foot, through the ankle, and through the knee. We get that nice back bend through the three parts of the back. We get our quad stretch, hip flexor, and psoas stretch. Let's come on out. We'll try that on the other side. Left hand for left foot. Right hand out in front. Pads of the index and thumb come together, kicking the foot to the hand. Finding that focal point. Taking a deep full breath in and out. Let's begin to release. To come on out, we can just give it a nice little shake, a little reset of the legs and the hands. Thank you so much for joining today. Really great to be here with you all. I hope that you enjoyed this quad inspired practice. I know that my quads feel much more open. I was sitting a lot through the day, so I was very tight and tense. So just feeling much more relaxed, which is great. I hope that you have a fabulous day today. I'll be back with you all tomorrow. That's Friday at 10 o'clock East Coast time. We're going to have our chair yoga, which is a 30-minute stretching practice in your chair at your desk. So no need to get the mat out or change or anything like that. So I hope you can join us. Take care.